nombre es Marc, bienvenidos a mi canal y en este vídeo estamos...
Marc Vila Terra is a YouTuber from near Barcelona, in the Catalonia region of Spain. Arriving in Ireland during a pandemic was not part of his original plan. But Marc, with the help of a Spanish employment agency, managed to navigate the tricky challenges of moving country, finding a job, and crucially, a place to live, in housing crisis-hit Dublin. He shares an apartment on Dublin's north side, with two other young Spanish men. Marc has volunteered to represent the Spanish community in the Romancing Ireland Challenge.
So there has been this online vote. All the Spanish community have voted which dish should the contestant from Spain cook. And it was difficult because there are, as you know, there are a lot of regions in Spain and a lot of typical foods. But well, people online have voted and the answer is in this envelope. And I obviously accept the Romancing Ireland Challenge, whatever it is. So let's find out. What is it gonna be? Okay. Oh my god, that's funny. Cocido madrileño. So that's really funny and tough, you know, because I'm from Catalonia, and there is this political issues with, again, like Spain, Madrid and stuff. But yeah, no worries. I will try my best. I've never cooked something like that. It's gonna be really difficult for me. But I think that if I get some information on how to cook it, and maybe watch some YouTube videos, I don't know, and probably we can sort it out somehow.
When it came to food, Marc's childhood in Catalonia set the standard for a healthy diet.
When I was a child, my mom always prepare vegetables and stuff. Actually, on Monday we always eat beans with potatoes, green beans. So it was pretty healthy diet, My favorite food was rice, arroz a la cubana. It's like rice with tomato and egg, like fried egg. Fried, you say? I guess you say like that. Fried eggs, right? Yeah. Okay. And yeah, that was my favorite food. I would say my parents have always told me to eat fruit, so healthy stuff, vegetables, fish. So I like all kinds of food, to be honest.
When he first arrived in Ireland, Marc found the food on offer to be quite different to what he was used to at home.
Well, when I first came to Ireland, I was going to a supermarket. I didn't know what to buy because I didn't know the products and stuff, but it was really similar when I was living in England, because I lived in England during an Erasmus in Bath. So I felt like the food was pretty similar to that experience. So what I felt is it is a little bit harder here to get fresh products, or of course you can, but if you go to supermarket and you buy fast, you end up buying not really fresh products maybe. It's good food in Ireland, but I think in Spain we have better, in a more wide way to say it,
Marc's move to Ireland was due to poor work prospects at home. To his relief, getting set up here didn't prove difficult. If you don't mind hard work.
I started working in a warehouse, so heavy lifting, picking up crates and stuff like that, which was something I've never done, but I was happy to do it, and it helped me to overcome this bad situation I had in Spain, So yeah, maybe the picking up crates, I get rid of all my negativity, and yeah, I'm proud of having done that,
Marc may be a Spaniard away from his homeland, but he's certainly not the only one.
In Ireland there is plenty of Spanish people. You just walk around the streets of Dublin and you hear Spanish all the way. Maybe some people from South America, maybe some people from actual Spain.
A fellow Catalan, who can be found at Loughlinstown Farmers Market, in the car park of Wheelerhands Wines, each Friday, also has a Spanish food story to tell.
I see Ireland, I think it is good country, and I have one friend here, and she's go to Spain, and I keep at her bedroom in Bray, and I started working in the bakery, and this bakery always working to the markets. And I think I need to sell it something really Spanish for can sell it. And I thinking, why not make it empanadas? Maybe different flavors for Ireland. So beef and Guinness is very popular, I think, in Ireland. Same like chicken and mushroom. And I think, why not?
Ellie's empanadas have been growing in popularity. Word spreads fast within the Spanish community in Ireland.
In terms of communication, there is like this group called Españoles in Dublin in Facebook, which there are thousands, hundreds of questions every day about the PPS, about how to settle, about I'm looking for a room, wherever, you know. And then you basically know one Spanish guy that is gonna know another Spanish group, and it just magic happens, and you start meeting a lot of people from your country, which is nice. Yeah.
So much for the Spanish community. But what is Marc's impression of the Irish?
I think Irish people are really like open-minded and like extrovert. They are always open to like help you. But what I found about Irish people, I don't know if maybe it's not what it is, but that they are really nice to like start a conversation and stuff, but then to meet them again, sometimes it's hard, you know, like maybe there is like I have to like break this kind of ice which is there, but no, I'm in love with Ireland, and I feel a little bit Irish right now, you know, like maybe like 10% of my blood.
Now that he's had time to think about it, how does Marc feel about taking on the Romancing Ireland challenge?
You know, it's really weird that a Catalan guy is cooking this cocido madrileño, but I think it's funny. It's another experience, so I will, as I said, I will try my best, and I will try to provide a really perfect cocido madrileño only with Irish ingredients for this Romancing Island. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I hope everything goes good. And
they say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single footstep. These days, however, it's more likely to begin on Google.
Okay, so I'm gonna like try to look for information about cocido madrileño, you know, because I've never cooked something like that. But hopefully Google will make its magic and we can sort it out. Okay, as far as I know though, there are like a lot of ways to cook a cocido madrileño. So it's like everyone has his own recipe, and besides you can find cocidos, I think, in the south. They're different from Madrid, so yeah. So okay, I found this recipe which looks nice. It's from Carlos Arguiñano, a chef from Spain.
Having found a recipe, Marc has to find out how to get the ingredients, using only Irish produce.
So there are that 4 ingredients, one morcilla de cebolla, which is like, how, I don't know even how to translate it, black pudding I think, but I'm not sure. And then there is this jamon serrano, that's gonna be really tough to find it like in the Irish way. I don't know how we're gonna do it. And what else? And 300 grams of morcillo, this is actually beef, so maybe we can sort something out. And oh my god, chorizo in Ireland, I don't know, that's gonna be a nightmare. How we're gonna do it? I don't know. Well, maybe we can find some kind of something to replace chorizo, which is made in Ireland, you know. That maybe it's gonna suit our recipe, but that's gonna be tough, eh?
After some more Googling, a number of emails and quite a few phone calls, Marc seems to get his first breakthrough.
Okay, so I found this Irish guy in Westmeath. Well, he's from Argentina, so he told me that he's making this chorizo in Ireland, but it's like this Argentinian recipe, which is gonna be maybe like a little bit different from the Spanish one. But yeah, it's a Irish chorizo, so I can use it in my cocido. So I'm looking forward to taste it, because maybe it's not really similar, but can add something different to my dish. So hopefully it's gonna turn out right.
There's only one way to find out. Marc heads inland to meet Irish Argentine Tommy Kelly.
I've been living here for 19 years, and for many years I was always missing the Argentinian chorizo that we would make with the family at home. So I decided to basically just take up the recipe and start making my own. I grew up in the Pampas where all the gauchos are, all the cowboys are in Argentina. I grew up on a farm and, riding horses, working with cattle, and along, making our own sausages as well in the farm. So there are a lot of gauchos in my family, but I'm also, I feel, part of me being Irish, and I'm living in Ireland, and so that's why the Irish gaucho. I spoke with Marc. Marc wants to do a cocido madrileño, so he's trying to find locally sourced products. In this case, he's coming here to try the Irish gaucho sausage, to try to see if he can use those sausages in order to replace the Spanish chorizo. Most of the ingredients are the same. The main difference is the quantities of the different spices.
As Marc arrives, Tommy puts his famous Irish gaucho sausages on the barbecue, ready for the taste test.
Hola, Tommy.
Hola, Marc.
¿Qué tal?
¿Cómo estás? Bienvenido.
Gracias. Well, we should speak in English, right?
Okay, absolutely.
Oh my, you don't look like Argentina. Are you truly from Argentina?
I am, yes. Tommy Kelly from Argentina.
I've been told that you could provide one ingredient for my recipe that I'm cooking.
Okay.
I'm cooking this cocido madrileño. I'm sure you from Argentina must know a little bit about
Absolutely, yeah, I've heard loads of
this
it.
kind of stew, and stuff. So I'm looking to replace this chorizo, chorizo from Spain. But they told me that you can provide it, that you make it here in Ireland, so I can use it in my recipe.
Yes, absolutely. I make an Argentinian chorizo, which is a family recipe that my family have been cooking for over 150 years. And although it's similar to the Spanish chorizo, it's not exactly the same. It's not as red. It doesn't have as much sweet paprika as the Spanish one, but it has a lovely taste.
So it's drier.
It's not drier. No, it's very juicy and very tasty. Maybe not as smoky as the Spanish chorizo would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think your chorizo could suit my recipe?
I think it could. Maybe you should try them first and then, decide if you like them or not.
Yeah, that sounds great. So you provide to businesses and...
I provide to businesses, yes. We use, although the recipe is Argentinian, we use 100% Irish spices and pork. Everything is Irish, and they're gluten-free as well. So they're quite
Gluten-free,
healthy.
nice.
Yeah, they're quite
I'm really
healthy.
looking forward to taste it, because you're selling it pretty well.
With an expert like Tommy on the grill, Marc doesn't have long to wait.
Thank you.
And you can either have them like that, or you can try a little bit of chimichurri, which is a traditional Argentinian
so I put it
sauce.
on top?
Just a little bit.
Just
a little bit of the spoon.
Okay. That looks so good.
Put there on the bread.
That's enough?
That's enough.
Okay, so
You can add more then if you
let's
like.
try it. Wow. So good.
So you think that would work for the cocido madrileño?
Yeah, definitely. They are different than the Spanish ones, for sure. I wouldn't know how to describe the difference, maybe because I'm not that expert in cooking and stuff, but maybe these are more soft taste, maybe not that.
Slightly softer, yes. Yeah.
It's really good, yeah.
With one key pork ingredient in the bag, Marc must turn his attention to another. Back in Dublin, he makes some phone calls and finds himself talking to Dermot Allen, a breeder of rare pigs, based on Wine Tavern Farm in County Wicklow.
I'm cooking this cocido madrileño, so I need to put some pork in my recipe and some jamon serrano,
Dermot seems confident that his pigs can provide a worthy Irish alternative to the Spanish pork usually used in the cocido. So, Mark is off to Wine Tavern Farm to see for himself.
We're down here in West Wicklow, just outside Baltinglass, in the lovely Wicklow Hills, promoting, raising rare breed outdoor free range pork. We have Oxford Sandy and Black pigs here from Oxfordshire in England. There's no native Irish breed, which we were working on, but they are a outdoor pig that spend all their lives 365 days outdoors. They're well adapted to the Irish environment. It's perfect for them. They spend 3 weeks here on the farm, then they go to the woods all over Leinster, spend their lives there and come back to us then when they're ready to mate or go to their other homes, whatever. What you have here is Andy the boar. He's our stud boar. We have 4 boars here in total. This chap spends his life on the farm dominating and being the boss. So he's breeding with any of our rare breed sows.
The last of the Irish native pigs died out in the 60s. But, by using breeds that are closely related, Dermot hopes to reintroduce the Irish pig once more.
So we're going to cross the male and the female of the Tamworth with the male and the female of the Oxfords. We're going to take their offspring, crisscross male with female, and then their offspring again, to try and get back to a native Irish breed, which is exciting. The Spanish chef is going to try and work with Irish pork. We're going to use our version of what he uses in his dishes.
Attempting to reintroduce an Irish breed of pig is certainly exciting. But right now, Mark has more pressing challenges to worry about.
Right, Dermot. So as I told you on the phone, I'm looking to replace this jamon serrano, you know, the typical product of Spanish. Do you have something that might suit my cocido?
The closest thing with good Irish pork would be our top line joining into the ham. So it would be a nicely cured, but it would be a wet cure. Whereas in Spain, they all have dry cured. There's too much moisture in the air here to dry cure. So here's nice marbling, cured ham, but would only take 10 days, whereas in Spain you would be curing it from 6 weeks to 9 months.
Okay, so that would replace jamon serrano. That's fantastic. And what else? I also need like pig, you know, like the meat of pig, right? I'm sure you have lots of great meat.
One of my favourite cuts here, we have a smoked.
Oh, it looks nice.
Smoked back of the rib, and plenty of pork in it. Little bit of fat through it just to give it that taste. All that beautiful rendering down will get into your stew and will really make you taste that Irish pork that's in it.
That looks amazing. So I'm looking forward to cooking, but even more to taste, you know.
I'm looking forward to tasting as well, Mark, yeah. I can tell you.
Back in Dublin city centre, Mark is on Talbot Street. A Google search has led him to FX Buckley Butchers for the final meat ingredient of his dish.
This is definitely a traditional Dublin pudding. This recipe has been around, safe to say, since the 1930s. Since FX Buckley's has been around, which was established down on Moore Street. It's called a blood pudding, so there's some pig blood in there.
Yeah, blood.
Mixed with some pork meat, some spices, some oatmeal, also some pork fat.
Fat, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the most important ingredients in there.
It's really similar, I think, to morcilla, you know, so I think it would definitely suit my
Perfect, yeah.
So I'm cooking for like myself and 2 more. Would you recommend like what?
This is an accompaniment to your meal, so I would suggest probably a full ring for 3 people.
Ring. That's a ring, right?
That's a full ring there, yeah. So,
how much is it gonna be?
Well, the price is very, very reasonable, my man. Very, very reasonable. This ring here, I'll tell you now, it's only $3.85.
Okay.
Which is, for something like that, a fantastic price.
Okay.
Mark now has all the meat for his cocido madrileño. However, there's another important ingredient that he can't find growing in Ireland.
So I have good news and bad news. I could find some farm shop where I can maybe get all the vegetables I need, like the carrot, potatoes, etc. But I couldn't find anything about the chickpeas in Ireland, the garbanzos, you know. So maybe this farm shop can suggest something to replace the chickpeas, something Irish. So hopefully, yeah.
So Mark is back on the road. This time, to Newbarn Farm Ashbourne, in North County Dublin.
I came here because they told me you have really fresh vegetables and ingredients that I might use in this recipe. So I was looking especially for, you know, this chickpeas, you know, because it's typical in Spanish, the chickpeas, but you don't have it here, right?
No, we don't grow chickpeas in Ireland, at least to the best of my knowledge anyway. So I was kind of wondering that maybe we would be able to replace them with a broad bean, which is Irish bean. It's an Irish legume. It's very nice, very tasty. It's a different flavour, but it might add something, you know, new and fresh to the idea of the dish.
You think it might be even better with this? Or?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Especially if you get it from here, like it's.
That's perfect. And then also the typical cabbage, which is called repollo in Spanish, you know. So I'm looking for that, and they told me you have plenty of types.
We grow here 4 different types of cabbage. We grow your regular spring cabbage or York cabbage. We also grow Savoy cabbage, white cabbage, and tundra cabbage, as well as obviously curly cow.
So, New Barn Farm will provide the vegetables for Mark's dish. But, will fresh broad beans work as a substitute for chickpeas? Only time will tell.
Okay, so today is a big day. Here I have the vegetables I need. So my flatmates are coming at around 7. So I need to start preparing everything.
With so many ingredients in Mark's cocido madrileño, there's a lot that can go wrong. And, right from the start, it does.
Oh my god, I have plenty of, well, not plenty, like maybe like, how many? Maybe like 15, 20. And I have to get like 300 grams, and with 15, 20 I have, the weight is still in, like almost in the same place, so it's gonna be difficult to get to 300 grams of broad beans to replace the chickpeas from Spain, but I don't know. I guess I will keep peeling, you know.
Finally, the broad beans are done, and Mark can move on to the meat.
This is supposed to replace morcillo, which actually is beef, but Dermot suggested that this could be good in my recipe, so I'm gonna add it to the pan. Okay. Then we have the jamon that's supposed to replace jamon serrano. I'm nervous about how it's gonna turn out, you know, because we replaced it so many ingredients. So what else? And yeah, here we have this smoked pork, also Dermot's suggestion. So I think it's gonna be great to get, because the chorizo, you know, in Spain it's much red. This is really tasty, but in Spain it's much red. So I think this can add this kind of flavor from the chorizo, maybe, because it smells a little bit similar. So, and it's pork as well. Then we will add it in later, because it doesn't need as much time of boiling time.
Now Mark prepares the veg, but there's something on his mind.
And I'm really concerned about the pressure cooker, because I never use it in my life.
Unfortunately, Mark was right to be nervous.
I'm a bit concerned because the countdown of the pressure cooker is not going down. So we are waiting and hoping that it's getting cooked, you know, because with a regular pan it's like 4 hours, but with the pressure cooker it's 30 minutes. But what I didn't know is that the pressure has to build. So I don't know how is it gonna turn out, to be honest.
After calling his flatmates to tell them dinner will be late, the pressure cooker finally counts down. Now all Mark has to do is work out how to take off the lid.
What? What the fuck?
Having avoided burning himself, Mark uses the stock from the cooker to boil more of the ingredients.
Okay, so here I have all the ingredients I'm gonna place in the pot. The pot has the boiling water from the pressure cooker with all the meat juicy stuff. So it's smelling really good. You cannot smell it, but yeah. So here we have the broad beans, the 4 pieces of chorizo. I'm actually gonna put 3, and the morcilla, well, the black pudding from Ireland, of course, and the chorizo, Irish one as well. So I'm gonna add it in this pot. 3 pieces of chorizo. I place the black pudding, which replaces the Spanish morcilla, and then I'm gonna add these broad beans.
Well, the cooking is done. Marc's two hungry Spanish flatmates are seated, and it's time for him to serve up his cocido madrileño, to see if it will pass the taste test.
Okay guys, so this is my cocido madrileño with Irish ingredients for our audience to see it, and I hope you enjoy it. If you don't like it, just tell it to the camera.
Wonderful.
Okay.
It looks good,
So,
yes.
So yeah, I hope you enjoy. And slocha, was it?
Slocha.
Slocha.
Slont.
After you guys. If you need salt, wherever, just tell me.
It's a short but anxious wait for Marc, as his two friends tuck in.
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah, it's very good. I like it.
Delicious. Because you know, guys, the black pudding, it's the morcilla. It's made in Ireland, you know. This is chorizo.
It's become apparent that with the many changes of ingredients necessary to stick to Irish produce, the dish is not quite a cocido madrileño. But that doesn't mean that it's not very tasty.
It's good, but really different, right?
Yeah, but it has a taste to it, like chorizo a little bit.
At the end, right?
Yep.
To be honest, yeah, the taste of the broad beans has absolutely nothing to do with the taste of the chickpeas. However, it still is good, but maybe different, you know. What do you think about this one?
Is there more black pudding?
You like it?
Yes.
He wants more black pudding.
I would like to repeat tomorrow. Is it possible?
Yeah.
So all that's left is to get the final verdict from all three on Marc's cocido madrileño Romancing Island Challenge.
Mi palabra es en español maravilloso. Maravilloso. I think that this bloody pudding is better than Spain.
I like it very much. All the ingredients are really nice. I like the different kinds of meat, and the same as him, the black pudding. Usually I don't like it in Spain because it has a very strong taste, but this one, it was nice.
In my case, it's the first time ever I eat cocido, so this is the best one, of course, because it's the first time as well. So yeah, I cannot compare it, but I'm happy with the outcome, and yeah, I'm quite proud of how it went out.
And what about Marc's overall experience of taking up the Romancing Island Challenge?
It was really fun. I enjoyed with all the producers that provided me with the ingredients I needed. I enjoyed with all the crew from the program. It was really nice times. And besides, I was learning even about my country, you know, because I never even tasted cocido madrileño, so I had to cook it this time. So it was such a big challenge. But I really, I would say I have enjoyed the process of doing it, and I'm really proud to take part here.
Looking around, a little sweep at the orchard speaks for itself. You know, everybody, it's so friendly, it's so companionable, you're getting air, you're getting exercise, you're doing something lovely that might not be so attractive if you're doing it on your own, you know. So, yeah, 3 cheers for the orchard.
DeclanCassidy.com